Well, Coach Newton, you guys secure a third meeting with Arweva. Obviously, this one's with the most at stake. What are going to be some of the keys going into this matchup with the Rockets a third time through?
Well, you better know where Simmons and Shirky are at. Simmons especially, he does a heck of a job on the glass on both ends. He's got a motor that doesn't quit. I don't know where he ranks among the state leaders as far as rebounding goes, but he does a really good job there. Gets a lot of putbacks, gets a lot of easy baskets that way, and a lot of times they end up putting him at the free throw line as well. So it's kind of hard sometimes to get the drop on him because he just has a nose for the ball. And even though you do a good job that possession and block him out, he still seems to get a hand on it and get a tip and run down the loose ball. And he's a handful. The Shirky kid's about as heady of a point guard as you're ever going to get. He's a strong kid, a lot of game sense. He doesn't get himself in trouble. He doesn't get himself in foul trouble. I don't know if when the last time he left the floor, except for at the end of the game. So, and they got enough guys with them too. The Newman kid's tall and long, and the Ulster kid's another long one too. A lot of guard skills. He's probably 6'2", but really long reach. And then the Regaller kid off the bench. He's getting better and better all year long. That freshman, and they don't beat themselves. You got to go in there and play some pretty good basketball. I don't know if anybody can play flawless. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of possessions in the game. You have to value the basketball and take care of it. And sometimes you just slow down a little bit to speed up. And sometimes we try to do some things, catch it, turn, and shoot it all in motion. We've got to be a little more deliberate ourselves as far as that goes, and take care of it. And do your job on both ends of the floor, and not try to just make it a one-man game.
I'm sure you and the team have been looking forward to a chance to see them again, especially after the two regular season meetings when you did have some leads late against them. And now it's finally here. Is a little bit of a relief, I guess, to have gotten to this point and not having looked past anybody to just assume that you guys would match up again?
Well, after we lost to them the first time, we really didn't talk about it much. We just talked about, remember what that feeling felt like in the locker room up there. We felt like we let one slip away up to their place. And then, then we got beat down here. I'm pretty frustrated. I didn't feel like I did a very good job, and we didn't feel like we did a very good job either. Out there on the floor as far as executing and doing the things that we need to do to be successful. And a lot of that was probably what they did to us as far as their defense. But so we towards the end of the year we talked about it one time and said, if you want this rematch with them, you've got to hold up your end of the bargain because I'll guarantee you they're going to be there. And I guess maybe I should have played the lottery tonight because they ended up there. But they're a really good team. They've been doing it for a lot of years. They got good fundamentals. They're not going to beat themselves. We just got to go out there and be solid and don't try to make something out of nothing. I thought that, against Audubon, I thought we did a nice job of pulling up on the break when it looked like it might have had a little bit of something that we could maybe get out of the break, but we pulled up and got something a lot better. So we got to make the decisions quick. It's going to be a quick game, like I said. We probably won't get a lot of possessions. If we do, that may not be good. Either we're trying to scramble because we're behind, or we're taking quick shots, and it might lead us to getting behind. But they can score in a hurry, but we can score in a hurry too. So it's going to be interesting. We got to keep the emotions, down. Don't get too high, don't get too low, and all that good stuff. So it'll be a pretty good, late February ball game tournament time.
It was a pretty convincing win for your team on Tuesday night over Audubon to advance to the district final, especially in the second half. Controlled things against the Wheelers. What were some of the things that started to turn the game in your favor against Audubon?
Well, we did switch to 2-3 zone, which I'm not real sure how much that had to do with it. Like I said, they do a lot of the same things against man in zone as far as the 4-out or 5-out. But I thought offensively, they had some foul trouble at the end of the half, and we were able to get the ball into the post, whether it be Schultz or rolled either one. And either we got a pretty good look at the basket because they knew they couldn't foul us any longer because the fouls were mounting up, or we got some contact and then got to the free throw line too. And that little run at the end of the half that got us up 26-21 kind of made us a little more comfortable at the halftime, and maybe the little halftime speech was a little different. But we came out in the third quarter there. I thought there was a couple times we turned them over. Like I said, we rush down the floor sometimes and take bad shots, but tonight we set it up and made them play some defense. I know one of those led to an and one for Dakota that was a big one. Gets our crowd into it. I mean, those are just like hitting 3-pointers. So all in all, I thought we played really hard there. Each person I felt contributed, stepped up and gave us some baskets. This kid might step up and score. They make an adjustment, take that away. So this guy steps up and scores, and I thought everybody just kind of, I don't know if they took their turn, but everybody sure contributed.
What was the mentality of the team like after the win on Tuesday? Was it pretty celebratory, or was it kind of just the business as usual? We've got bigger fish to fry, so to speak.
No, I thought they were pretty happy, and well, they should have been. It's a big win, big atmosphere. We were probably fortunate to have that game on our home floor, which we talked about that all season long about the home court advantage. But they were pretty happy. Told them, again, you get to enjoy it for a whopping 12 hours or not very long, no matter what the weather does. But they kind of seemed a little bit relieved. I think maybe as far as now everybody talks about that rematch that's coming tonight, and I guess we knew that our probably would be there, and so we held up our end of the bargain too. So now we're here, and you get a day and a half to think about it and figure out what we're going to do.
All right, Coach, thanks a bunch.
You bet. Thanks for the coverage.